Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we're going to be going over 5 common mistakes that any player could make while they're dribbling the football. So the first common mistake that a lot of players make, so I'm going to start with the most basic one and move on to the more advanced ones, is that they use their toes to dribble the ball. So you see a lot of beginner players, especially when they're very young, they use the toes of their foot to dribble the ball. And the problem with that is when you use your toes, you're not able to keep a close control with the football. In result, the ball gets too far away from you. Now, the second common mistake that a lot of players make when they're dribbling, especially when they're younger, is that they love to use the inside of the foot to dribble the ball. Now, it's not wrong to use the inside of your foot to dribble when you're dribbling with the football. At times that you want to use a specific move to beat a defender, but it is incorrect to use the inside of your foot when you're dribbling with speed. And the reason for that is because you don't feel as natural as when you're using the outside of your foot. And it definitely slows you down. So we always want to make sure to use the outside part of our foot to dribble instead of the inside part of our foot. It's okay to use the inside at specific times when you're doing specific moves, but the correct way to dribble with speed is to use always the outside of your foot. Now, the next 3 common mistakes that I'm going to be explaining is crucially important, and even more professional players might be making those mistakes. So the next one is a lot of players love to use the laces of their foot to dribble the ball. So in a lot of videos you might have watched that they tell you to use the laces, but the incorrect part about using the laces is that the laces is a very hard spot on your foot. And if you use the laces, the ball will get too far away from you. So I'll show you the difference here. If I use the laces of my foot to dribble, the ball will get too far away from me. Instead, I have to always make sure to use the outside of my foot and specifically use my pinky toe to dribble the ball. It's always using that small toe to tap the lower half of the ball when we're dribbling. I'm always making sure that my foot is inwards as much as possible, and I'm tapping the lower half of the ball, which helps me to make sure the ball is glued to my foot and the ball stays close to me. Now, the next common mistake that a lot of players make that is very detailed and you might not have noticed is that they drag the ball and they push the ball instead of tapping the ball. Now, the problem with pushing the ball is that you don't have enough control over the ball when you're dribbling. So if there's a defender in front of you and you push the ball and the defender jumps into win your ball, you do not have enough control to react in the right situation and in the right spot. However, we always want to make sure to tap the ball instead of pushing the ball. So when you're dribbling, you always want to make sure that you're tapping the ball with every step, which gives you full control in order to react when the defender is jumping in to win your ball. And it gives you a lot more balance and control in those one-on-one situations against the defender. And last but not least, the final common mistake that a lot of players make when they're dribbling in football is that they don't have a low center of gravity and they're not low enough. So their body is in this position, especially more beginner players make this mistake, and they're dribbling when they're upright here. So the issue with that, again, is that you don't have enough balance to be able to change direction quickly, and it makes you less agile on the ball. So whenever you're dribbling the ball, you always want to make sure to bend your knees slightly, make sure your back is straight, but your knees are a little bit bent just to have more balance. So you always have to make sure you're low and your footwork is very quick. So you have to have very fast feet when you're dribbling the ball to be able to be more agile and change direction quickly.